You. Are you stuck inside? Is it totally gross outside and you're like, what am I gonna do tonight? Well, you're gonna hang out with me because we have 3 hours where I promise I'm gonna find something great for all of you. It's a really great mix of items. That's what I love in the next couple of hours. So stick with me because we've got a lot of the best names in the world coming up here on HSN. Now, here's what I'm gonna do first and foremost, because I did mention how's the weather where you are. And this hour, I think, is vitally important. There's not too many hours that I do on the network where I truly believe that everyone needs to have something, but this is one of those hours where I truly believe you need to. Let me give you an idea of what's happening around our country because of that crazy, crazy weather. And literally it was down here and it went like this all the way across the country. So many of you are just under tons of snow. But listen to this, right now in Portland, Oregon, WGW8 is reporting that 119,000 homes are without power. How about Nevada? Nevada News 2, 2,400 are out. How about Wisconsin? 26,000 people out, 25,000 in Michigan, 72,000 people right now, these are current stats, are out of power in Pennsylvania. Another 13,000 in New York, 10,000 in Connecticut. I mean, I could go on and on and on. What happens? It's wintertime, it's freezing cold, you lose your power. What are your alternatives? And that's a really scary thing to have to think about. Well, imagine if you didn't have to think about it because you've got a convenient 17-pound EcoFlow that's ready to be able to power up your appliances. How about powering up your phone? How about powering up some lights? When the entire neighborhood is black and dark, you've got actual lights in your home. And this little guy, we just launched this weekend, is an absolute gem. They have taken the most advanced technology that EcoFlow has ever done and now condensed it into a 17-pound unit. Now, I'm gonna go to my Facebook page, if we can call that up real quick, because I wanna show you, this is why I'm so darn impressed with this. And Justin Hyatt is here, he's gonna go through the whole spiel with you. That is our EcoFlow. We have one of the largest one they make because my husband wanted to go and work for more than 3 weeks and he wanted to be off grid. So we bought our EcoFlow from HSN. Of course, he had it up there. He worked all day long. He's a computer software analyst. So the guy is eating up energy on his computer all day long with his phone, the lights at night, the whole thing. And that's how we lived completely off grid for 3 weeks using that. And now for us, that is our backup. I will not, being in Hurricane Alley down here, I will not be without an EcoFlow simply because no one wants the fear of being without power. So let's get into this one. You have 2 choices. You can get just the EcoFlow with the cool new bag that comes with it. This is the most portable we've offered, but don't let this little compact size fool you. It's a dynamo. Or you can get the EcoFlow with the bag with the solar panel. I recommend getting the solar panel. Usually, Justin, how much is that separate?
The 110 watt?
The solar panel, yeah.
The solar panel is probably roughly about $299,
just by
I think,
itself,
by itself.
Right? Yeah, so good time when we bundled them together to get it, because you're gonna get them both on sale. We have it just this with the pack, with the attachments, or this with the solar panel with the pack. All right, Justin, because he did pop in there for me, he's gonna help me out. Justin literally is one of our fantastic electronic experts, and he brings us all the EcoFlow. And you are fresh off of CES, which is Consumer Electronic Show, which is the biggest electronic show in the world. You saw a lot of innovations, but truly EcoFlow is one of the most innovative companies out there.
Well, especially in this category. You talked about alternatives. You know, Suzanne's saying, you know, alternatives as what do you have as an option for an apartment, in a condo, even in a conventional home when you lose power? Are you one of the 70,000, 100,000 people in Wisconsin and New York? You think about what are your options for where you live? How are you going to have that backup power? And when we talk about innovation, EcoFlow has just really carved their new kind of category of power stations and solar generators. So we see the popularity of electric vehicles just exploding all over. And the reason is because our trust in batteries are very different what they used to be years ago. Just like what we see in innovation there, think about it with gas generators and propane generators. Instead of having those as the only options, now you have the option of having something like this that only weighs 17 pounds, that yet in your home can power up 80% of your home appliances. And do you know what? It's silent. It's 30 decibels. I talk about at like 80 decibels inside of the studio here. This is 30 decibels. It's going to run completely silent. It doesn't need gas. It doesn't need oil. There's no moving parts. There's no maintenance. So you can run this inside of your home to power up your refrigerator, to power up a induction burner, your fans, your lights. Think about all the things that you have in your home that you use every single day. If we pulled the power right now, what would you do? Do you have a plan? Well, maybe this is a great way to do it. I want you to to kind of just do a quick walkthrough on this, because if you've never seen EcoFlow before, here's how easy and simple this is. One touch of a button, like I was showing you, and that turns on the unit itself and shows you a full digital display. You see 4 individual 3-prong AC outlets. This is where you're going to plug in your light, your fan, your induction burner. Maybe it's a CPAP machine, maybe it's a refrigerator. We also have USB ports right here, USB-A, and what typically we say is you have only 3 options to recharge this. Now you've got 4, Suzanne.
Oh,
you can
wow.
use that USB-C port to charge it with that as well. So how many times you have a MacBook cable and you forgot the cable? Now you can use it that way as well. We have the DC adapter, and on the very back, fastest recharge rate in the whole entire industry. When you plug this in, it's 5 times faster than alternatives. When you plug this into the AC, from 0 to 100% in 70 minutes.
That's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Is that not crazy? Here's the other thing. When we look at sizes like this, and you were saying it's just really a dynamo size, still compact. With the solar, for the very first time, we could say in just 3.5 hours with 220 watts of solar. Now you're getting 110 watts.
So double the solar panels.
Double the solar, so you can get another solar panel and use them in conjunction together. 3.5 hours. You can take those solar panels, put them on your patio, put them on your balcony, and recharge it that way instead of, well, we need to get more gas, we need to get more propane. Now you're independent. And like you said, well, we go off-grid, we go RVing, we go camping. When you are out of power, it feels like you're camping and you're RVing, because now you're literally off the grid. Now you can feel like, well, the creature comforts that we enjoy daily, we still can enjoy with our power station inside of our home.
This is really, really funny. So when Justin came out of the set, because this thing is little, ours is huge. It's got 2 wheels, and I'll be honest with you, it's heavy as all get out. My husband has to move it around. I can't lift it up. It's super, super heavy. I love our EcoFlow. I think it's one of the best investments we've ever made, but it's very bulky. So anyway, the problem is when I saw this, I thought, oh, I go, Justin, you're not going to do the fridge demo where you literally light up the fridge. He goes, oh no, it'll work with a full-size refrigerator. I'm like, get out of here. Also talk about heat. Because when we were naming these cities in Pennsylvania now, there's a ton of snow. It's super brutally cold. Like in Ohio, my brother, I talked to him today, he goes, it's 10 degrees, not counting wind chill, right? So let's talk about actually heating, because a lot of people now don't have heat, and that's dangerous at this time of year. Yeah, well, I mean, weather events like that, whether it's cold, whether it's heat, can be one of the most deadly weather events that you can experience. Of course, you know, growing up in Philadelphia, when it's 20 degrees out, it feels like it's 0 degrees inside of your home when you have no furnace, when you have no heat. I'm going to set this bag down because I want to just kind of talk about that really quickly. When you think about heating your home, we often think of space heaters. Best way to heat yourself up, most efficient way, whether it's a generator or a propane generator, whatever it might be, is a heating blanket. Now, here's the other thing. You can use an induction burner. Now, this can go up to 1,600 watts of power. So we talk about ways for you to be able to actually heat your body up. Well, what better way to be able to heat your body with hot food, heating yourself up from the inside. So that means maybe using a smaller microwave, an induction burner to heat up some food, to cook some food, maybe it's soup, so that if you're out of power for an hour, 2 hours at a time, now you got your heating blanket, now you have a way to actually cook your food and be able to continue to have the sustainable things like food and water. That, yeah, maybe we saw that storm coming, but we didn't think, oh, we're going to be out of power for 2 days. And we see I'm going to blame the storm for why the Dolphins lost, okay? It was 30 below, okay? But yeah, when those things happen, what do? You need to have a plan, and then think about when it's 30 below out and you've got a gas generator, who's going outside to put more gas in that generator? And they're so loud. And they're loud, and in some cases, whether it's a campground or let's use it in just, recent events, at 10 p.m. and a lot of these places can't use them, and if they're covered in snow, probably going to be hard to get to when there's 5 feet of snow outside. This allows you to have that feeling of a generator inside of your home, and what's great about snow? It's very reflective. So whether it's still snowing, of course, if the sun comes out, put your solar panel out because they're weatherproof. It'll reflect even better to absorb more light and sun, so it'll recharge your power station even faster. And even when you're using your power station, you can be charging it at the same time. Yeah, so that's one of the great things. 95, probably even more %, maybe even 97% of you pick up the bundle. One, of course, it just makes more sense when it comes to just dollar to dollar to get more for your buck. But ultimately, it's completing the full cycle and experience of having a power station. When this runs out of power and you have no power at home, well, now what happens then? When you've got this at home and you've got your solar panel, now you can recharge this via the sun without having to worry about, oh, well, we still don't have power at home. So that's one way to say it's a matter of if, not a matter of when you're out of power, but it's also a matter of when
we don't know it's going to come back on. So we need to have that independence so we can make sure that we have our solar panel to recharge it. Here's the other thing that I love, is that with your solar panel, it's not just to recharge your power station. Because with 110 watts, and in fact, you can have 220 watts of total input right here, and in fact, even more than that, to your power station. That means that's 220 free watts of power that's getting converted from the sun, passing through your power station to, for instance, like your light and your fan. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a quick example. I'm gonna plug the fan in really quickly here, and you'll get an idea of what I mean. You know, when we talk about just the ease of use. When I turn on this AC, now the fan's gonna turn on in a second, it's gonna show me the wattage right here. And it's gonna then convert exactly the wattage to the amount of time. That's saying I've got 16 hours that I can run this fan at 39 watts. Well, if I've got my solar panel out, if you're playing tennis and you've got your power station out there, or pickleball, have you played pickleball
I
yet?
love pickleball.
I love pickleball. You want to make some friends on the pickleball court? You want a fan when it's 100 degrees outside, whether it's, you know, cold or not? 16 hours, if I've got my solar panel, I can have it tailgating out at a soccer game, out on the pickleball court. That's 39 watts that I can have my solar panel powering up that fan, not depleting the power on my power station.
See, isn't that brilliant, you guys? So I would recommend to get, and quite frankly, to Justin's point, when we bundle the solar panel with it, it's always the better purchase, because then, basically, in essence, it's hard to run out of power. I mean, it's pretty remarkable that you can just keep getting continuous power. And I love what Justin said, too. You monitor the whole thing. So you can say, you know what, I'm gonna plug in my phone, I wanna plug in that, you know, the induction little plug-in stovetop thingy, and you can watch the power and say, oh, okay, I've used that now. I love you can see what power you have, but with the solar panel, you're gonna be able to continuously keep this charging, which is remarkable. It's not like you use it up and then you gotta wait an hour, 2 or 3 hours. This is a continuous loop system. If you can swing it, and I'm sure we have just the solar panels available online, you might wanna think about getting this second solar panel. We have 2 solar panels. You know what I did? I bit the dust and I did it. Because number one, we're in Florida and we're always worried about hurricanes. And honest to God, there's nothing worse anywhere you're at than being without power. Even if it goes out at night for like an hour, you don't know when it's coming back, but even if it's an hour, aren't you a little bit panicked going, oh, when the power's coming back? And then you call your friend, do you have power in your 2 streets over? No, you don't have it yet? Oh, our power came back up. That's how much we rely on it. So I bit the bullet, use the HSN benefits. Number one, your credit card. If you have a credit card, you can get this home for 5 flex pays, pay it off in 5 months, you get it right away. Better yet, pull out your HSN card. There's a couple of times where this HSN card comes in real handy, and this is one of those. Here's what we're gonna do, and this is remarkable. If you get it without the solar panel, you're gonna get 12 months VIP financing, which means you will pay about $37.50 per month. If you pay it off in the 12 months, we will charge you 0 interest, big fat 0 interest, if you pay it off in 12 months. If you wanna get this with the solar panel, by the way, that's $36.11. Oh, I'm sorry, did I do it the wrong way? No, it is. It's $36.11. You pay it off in 18 months, and again, 0 interest. So if you use your credit card right now and you pay 18 months and a credit card, you're gonna get charged interest, but with our HSN card, you do not. It's huge, and it's because of the price point that it's at. If you wanna apply, go online. You can actually use it right now once you're approved. You get $40 off whatever you buy, and then on top of that, you can use our VIP financing. But for me, it was, you know, Justin, it was kind of bite the bullet moment.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm not gonna go through another hurricane scare ever again. You know, I'm not gonna go and worry about, and then for the fun things, like my husband wanted to go off grid. I go, well, guess what? Here's the solution. Take the EcoFlow with you. So that to me was why we just sort of broke down and said, with FlexPay, VIP financing, we're just gonna have it, and you know ultimately what it means? Complete security, a sense of peace. If I've got my food, I've got my water, now I have power. Those are the 3 keys to being able to be at least comfortable during some times that might not be very comfortable.
Yeah, and you know, we always talk about hurricanes because obviously that's what we have to deal with here all the time, right? Recently, we just had to deal with tornadoes, which is something that's not a regular occurrence in Florida. It just doesn't happen here. You have to expect the unexpected, and what you were just talking about, you know, we can control a few things. You can't control when the power's gonna go out, but when you have the ability to say, well, we got food, we got water, don't you want to just be able to cross off your list power? You know, it's one of those things when we've gone grocery shopping, and I don't know if you've gone recently, the price of everything seems to go up with food. You might have $300–400 in here. You might have medicine in here.
Your fridge.
And your refrigerator. You talked about investing in something that's more than just being, a backup power. When you invest in EcoFlow, it's not just, well, I'm only going to have it sit in my garage, in my closet, waiting for when the power goes out. That's what's nice about this size.
Yeah, this to me, I almost wish we might need to add this to our big guy, because my big guy, I ain't moving it.
Yeah.
You know, once it's set, I don't, my husband moves it around. This one I can move around. So if you live independently and you're like, wow, some of the other, even our next size up is really pretty darn heavy.
Yes.
This is the one I want you to invest in, especially if you live alone.
Yeah, well, so remember, we have the River line, we have the Delta line.
Yes.
In the River line, this is the newest. This is the River 2, but it's also the River 2 Pro. So it is the most powerful that we have in the River line. Now, when you jump to the Delta line, now you're talking about double the weight. Now it's about 30 pounds at the very least.
Yes.
Now it goes up to 50, then it goes up to 100 pounds. This is manageable power at home, but it's manageable in the sense that you know, one, you're gonna use it, and one, you're gonna know how to use it, and you're gonna be able to carry it where you want to. And we've given you that backpack, which we'll show you in a second, that makes it even easier for you to move it around the house and even outside of the house. So we talk about, we don't know when the power's gonna go out. I just wanna show you 17 pounds. I've got a lamp, I've got my power station. I can carry this from room to room instead of a candle, or a gas lamp, I'm gonna set this down, and in a second here, the lights might flicker at your home, and all of a sudden the thunder hits. You never know at some point in time when the thunder's gonna crack, and you're looking outside like you said, wait a second, is this really happening? And Murphy's Law usually tells you that, when it's gonna happen? At the worst possible time.
Always.
After you just went to the grocery store, after you just filled this up.
You've got hundreds of dollars of stuff in here.
You've got your mother-in-law coming over, and now, instead of having that gut-wrenching feeling, your light still stays on. Everything that you love about being able to have power at home and the regular, now you've got your full-size refrigerator. Here, I'm gonna move the lamp up really quickly, and I wanna just show you. You remember, we don't have to guess. This is now gonna tell me, I don't know if we can zoom in on this.
Tell us what we're seeing here.
Yeah, this is gonna tell you exactly how long it's gonna run for. Now, that's not saying minutes. It's 24 hours. It's 24 hours, and I still have that light plugged in.
And we still have the fridge plugged in.
Yep, so you're looking at probably an average of 16 to 24 hours, of course, depending on how often you open your refrigerator and so forth. But there you go, no guessing as far as how long you're gonna be able to run anything. When you got a gas generator, you got a half a tank. It's not gonna say, hey, oh, and by the way, we're gonna be able to run your half a tank on a gas generator. It'll run it for 18 hours. There's no guessing, and you can't do this inside your house with a gas generator.
Oh gosh, no, you'd kill the family. I mean, you have to have that outside. And think about it, now attach the solar panel to it.
Yeah.
And now again, and 2 would be probably preferable if you're gonna run a fridge. And then we're continuously recharging this at the same time.
Well, so that's the thing, right? As just a standalone, it's a power station. When you connect a solar panel, now it's a solar generator.
Yeah.
Now it's generating electricity. And I know you probably the concept of, wow, I never thought about having a solar generator at home inside my apartment, inside my condo. Now, like you said, this is showing me 21 watts. That means all day long, I could be running with my solar panel, the refrigerator. That's with one solar panel. And we always recommend get more. You charge it faster, and that also means, again, as a solar generator, it's more things that you can power up via the sun without depleting the power on your power station.
So here, we're at 18 hours to go. We've got the fridge still going, we've got a light. Even if you stop there, you're like, okay, that's covering a light for me. Oh, my cell phone. Boy, isn't it, the worst feeling is when your cell phone's about to die, and now you're going, now you know it's gonna be more than a day. Like we all sweat when it's 3 hours without power. Now we know it's bad, like it's gonna be a couple days, or for some people, God bless you, it's more than a week. In the summertime down here, a week without power is probably one of the most miserable things I could think of, but we're gonna live. We can live without our AC down here. If you're up north without power for a week in temperatures that are going to minus 30 degrees wind chill, I'm sorry, that now becomes a life and death situation. And let's just be honest about it. Like, again, we can suffer in the heat because it gets hot, but we're not gonna die from it. But if you really seriously are in a super brutally cold circumstance, which you guys are up north right now, this to me, I think this is non-negotiable, really, quite frankly. And this is what I did. I just bit the bullet. I thought, you know what? I'd rather buy it once. And that's kind of so funny because we bought ours years ago, probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I did it, and you know what? I've never had to worry about it again. That sense of security I now have to know if you know what hits the fan?
Yeah.
Literally hits the fan. I know I'm gonna have power, daggone it. And to having that control, having to be, instead of being reactive, like, oh no, big snowstorm, no power, everybody rushes to the hardware store to buy that last gas generator, then you can't get any gas at the gas station, or line's really long, it's snowing, it's cold, it's miserable. All of that disappears. All you go is, I'm the one that never has to worry anymore. I've got a way to filter my water at home. I do, indeed. I have filter straws.
Yeah.
I have my food I bought from HSN as well. And we've got our EcoFlow. And now I know we're gonna be able to survive comfortably. Not grand, but we're gonna be a whole lot more comfortable than everybody else around us.
It's the surviving or thriving. You know, and you know, often it's like, well, we went and got a gas generator because we were out of power, and that's the reactive part.
Yes.
And I always say, you know, what's the best time to get prepared? Now, because you don't know what tomorrow is what's gonna happen tomorrow. Why do you have the filtered straws? Because why not? Because we don't know. Because at some point we've seen enough things happen.
I might have to drink out of toilet. I don't know.
We've seen enough things happen. We're like, I just want to be ready. And you know, a lot of people we talk to, that's a lot of their reasoning is, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to make sure that I've got myself ready, that I'm protected, that I have power at home. And a lot of times we always talk about apartments and condos. It's because even today, you can't own a gas generator, you can't own a propane generator in an apartment, in a condo. But a lot of the women I talk to, they say, Justin, I physically don't feel comfortable running a gas generator or a propane generator. And those have to be 20 feet away from your home. And we spoke with many men, an ex-military had called in, he said, I was buying another EcoFlow because he had generators in his barn, big farm, and he's like, I'm tired of having cords all the way from my generator through my house. That means an open window. That means an open door, not very safe. But then he said, you know what? I wanted one up on my on the second floor. I wanted one on the first floor. This gave him options, and that's one of the great things.
This was perfect for that.
I was just going to say.
Like for us, for a second one, again, that first one I'm not touching. It's incredibly heavy. Works great, but it's really heavy.
Yep.
My husband has to physically pick it up, and I'm just not strong enough. This to me is the sweet spot.
Yep.
So if you already have one like I do, which is really big, it's really heavy, you might want to think about adding this. And you're right.
Yep.
You know, people are going to be downstairs. How about upstairs? You know, this now gives you your home back. Like if you're all huddled in front of the fireplace because in the dark, everybody's huddled in front of the fireplace. Now you actually go, oh my gosh, it's kind of bad, but we're okay. You know, we're comfortable. So think about grabbing this one as an extra. We just launched this weekend. It's only what, it's second, third.
This is the second time it's been on air.
Second airing, just launched. Guys, grab it while we have it in stock. It's a little over 17 pounds. I will lift the next one up so you can see it, but I'm all about it. And I kept thinking when I saw Justin, because mine is huge, and even the Deltas are about that big, right? I thought, oh, it's not gonna do the heavy duty. He ran the fridge for 18 hours with it. I mean, I'm very surprised at how powerful this is, considering it's such a small footprint now.
So when we launched the River 2 line, so this was just last year that we did it, all of the customers kept waiting because we had the River 2, then we had the River 2 Max. Everybody was waiting for the River 2 Pro. And the reason is that it is that perfect sweet spot. We love being able to have manageable power. What does manageable mean to you? 17 pounds. Yet it's gonna run your refrigerator for 18 hours. It's also manageable because it's easy to use. But it was something that was gonna deliver a running up to 1,600 watts of power. So right now you were saying, well, you're never gonna be able to run the refrigerator. I've got an induction burner. For 3 hours, we've got about 240 running watts right now. I can turn this up if I wanted to. Again, we could be able to cook our food. We could be able to heat our food right here. And here's the thing I always talk about. If we couldn't demo this with a gas generator, we couldn't demo this with a propane generator. This is one way, in fact, the only way in your house, in the studio, that we could be doing what we're doing right now, which is cooking our food, and it's pretty silent doing it as well.
It's amazing.
And you were just talking about just kind of carrying it around.
The new
I know you haven't
carrying
seen this
case.
yet. This thing is awesome.
It's beautiful quality.
So I use this bag all the time.
I was going to say, even if you don't have the generator
I'm telling you, it's because it's got 2 different compartments. So it actually has a separate compartment perfectly fit for your power station right here on the bottom. So it allows you to be able to just put it right down there. If you want to be able to access your ports, it gives you a ability right here to just open that up. This is a really nice roll top bag as well. So if you wanted to just use it again, just as a regular backpack, this has that really nice little clip, and then a separate compartment right here to put your cables. vegetables and put all of your other
let's say
stuff.
you're gonna go camping.
Yeah.
You could literally put like my water filtration straw in there.
Put everything in there.
I could put my food.
Yep.
You can actually stack. If you have it, if a lot of us have go bags, you know, if you got to go, this would be perfect for that. I mean, your entire generator, your water, and your food can all be inside here.
That's right. My
It's
dad's
really
go bag would be
remarkable.
baby wipes and water filled. You know, he's got his specific stuff. The thing is that it's.
And look, it's got really nice padded. Look
It's
at the
really, really
padding.
nice.
And just think about this. This is what's really fun too. Is you know, I hate talking about doom and gloom all the time. Look, that goes all the way down there, and then there's, isn't that? And look how pushy.
Pockets right
That's
here on the very
included, you
side.
guys.
Yep.
All right, if you want this without the solar panel, I have 80 left for the whole country, and that's fine because you can plug it in whenever you get power again. You can actually. Do we have the DC adapter on this one?
We do have the DC adapter that comes with it.
Okay,
yes.
so you could, if you were desperate, go out in your car.
Or if you're traveling, you know, you've got your RV, you could be plugging this in, and as you guys are driving to where your
you're powering it
destination
back
is,
up.
or if you're evacuating, right, you just plug it in and you can be charging it as you're driving.
Well, so that's one option. If you don't want it, I have 80 left without the panel. The vast majority of you, and I do recommend it, is, again, it's a bite the bullet kind of moment, is get it with a solar panel. Now, if you can swing it, get the second solar panel, but even with the first solar panel, it's giving you a ton of power, and it will continuously charge and use. Just doubling it up or even tripling it is just going to make it charge a whole lot faster and give you
absolutely
like almost endless power.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. You know, think about that. It's endless power that you're not having the residual payments for. Every time you have to use gas, you're paying more and more money. We talk about groceries being more and more expensive. So is gas. But when you run out of gas, you have no options. So that's when we talk about, you know, obviously alternatives. Even if you own a gas generator, great. If you own a propane generator, great. Because now you can use those to recharge your power station, whether it's the Delta Pro or, like you said, maybe you're just looking for another power station, another EcoFlow that's a little bit more manageable. We got the Delta Pro that stays at home. We've got this one that's going to be able to power up all of our other stuff at home. And then I just want to show you the solar panel really quickly. The carrying case, this is going to act like a kickstand. The actual solar panel is completely weatherproof. We talked about putting this on the snow. That means put it on the snow. Nothing's going to happen to this. You have a long enough cable that'll be able to reach your power station and keep that out of the snow and put it on your balcony. And you can have, again, up to, we were showing you 220 watts of solar. This is 110. Recharge your power station in 3.5 hours.
With just this or with double?
With double.
Okay, so if you get a second one, 3.5 hours. If you only have this one and you need a full recharge, what is it?
You're probably looking at
5, 6 hours?
Yeah, exactly. Right,
okay,
exactly. 6 to 7.
Okay, here's another thing. For some bizarre reason, I'm nerdily aware of this, but my husband has gas. We have 2 gas generators. And again, when he went off grid, he had one of the gas generators. And so what he would do is when the power would go down, he'd turn the gas generator on for less than an hour, recharge our EcoFlow, and then turn that off. Right. Instead of running our gas generator for 8 hours while he was working, he just recharged the EcoFlow really, really fast. Then he was able to turn the gas off. Yep. Here's the other bad thing about the gas generator. When he was done and he was going to leave the gas generator, he had to run it continuously to get rid of all the gas. Because you don't want to leave
the gas inside.
You can't leave your gas in your gas generator. By the way, if you didn't know that, you're not supposed to do that. So how much money did my husband waste just trying to burn the gas off in the gas generator? All of that is insanity. Now that we have EcoFlow who are doing this so compact, so efficiently, and so well, and we're talking years of use. Talk about that, about the battery. So let's say I'm really stuck, like it's a bad situation. We got a good week before we're going to get power. It won't create a memory on this, will it?
No, so this is the really exciting thing. You know, obviously we talk about this being the River 2. So the second iteration, the second version. This means it's a brand new battery system that's inside here. What you have is the Delta Pro. It was the first one that we had as a LiFePO battery. And the exciting part about that is it has a 5-year warranty. This has a 5-year warranty. The second thing is you had about 500 to 600 life cycles with the older batteries. That's like 0 to 100% before the battery started to kind of slow down a little bit from 0 to 99. And it happens with our cell phones. Still works. You can recharge this 0 to 100% once a day for the next 10 years. Before that happens. Before
it'll even go to 99?
Exactly.
No way.
So that's why we back it up with a 5-year warranty. You're getting the newest battery system that's inside here. That's another reason why everybody was so exciting for all of our second iterations, the second versions, because it's lighter weight, charges faster, and it's going to last you even longer. So huge, huge upgrades.
And I want you to repeat this. How many, of all the things we have to power in our house, what percentage can this little guy power?
So this is going to do about 80%. That's up to 1,600 watts power. But we just think about all the things that we just showed you. We did an induction burner.
These things are eat tremendous amount of power.
Yeah, well, we could probably get this. I think I had it up to about 1,000 watts. I can turn this back up, and we'll just turn the heat up even more in a second here. We got it up to 6. It's going to jump up to 800 watts right there. Let's see if we can keep going. Actually, that's all the way up high. Okay, so there we go. It's all the way up at its highest. It's going to be up from 800,000 watts.
And we've got the light on right now.
We got the light on.
And you have 46 hours.
46 minutes, but that's think about it, at high to cook our food.
Oh, I gotcha.
Right.
But obviously you're not going to cook for 46 minutes.
You're not going to be cooking for 45 minutes, right. And then again, remember the fact that it charges even faster now. You can use this up even quicker and recharge it even faster.
Right.
And the other big thing about this is that it does have 4 different ways to charge. And that's another big thing that we always talk about with a gas or propane generator. You run out of gas, you got no way to run it. And we forget that if we're out of power, gas stations are out of power.
That's right.
And oftentimes during these storms, you can't even get to the gas station because there's down limbs, there's down trees, or there's a lot of snow. So knowing that you have, we talk about peace of mind and independence, you just have to plan for those unexpected moments in a way where you can run it yourself. Or what a great gift for somebody who, when you can't get to them, that they can feel confident that all they need to do is press one touch of a button to turn it on and to turn it off, and it gives you every bit of information. It's going to show you amount of wattage, it's going to show you the percentage, and then it's going to convert the amount of wattage to how long it can run all the different things that you got plugged in.
Also, okay, so if we turn that off, how do you know between minutes and hours on this thing?
So it'll actually tell you right there.
Oh, so it just
So it's saying
switches.
44 minutes, and then once I turn that off, it's going to hop back up, and then it'll actually say hours in just a second.
And by the way, the noise you're hearing is the induction burner.
Yeah, that's the induction burner. That's
That is
right.
not, this thing's actually completely silent. All right, I want to walk over here because we talked about the snow, we talked about the warmth and all that kind of stuff. Now let's talk about saving a life. Like not just, okay, we don't want to freeze, but let's save a life. Can I hold this too real quick? I want you to see, this is to me what's remarkable. This is a little over 17 pounds, right?
Like a little over 17.
Mine, and again, I'm so impressed with this little guy. It's first time like you, I'm seeing it. You and I are having the same experience together. I have the big guy. It's on wheels. It is so, I can move it on the wheels a little bit. I cannot lift it up. It is incredibly heavy. Like, well, how many pounds is it?
100 pounds.
It's 100 pounds.
Right.
I can't lift it. There's no, my husband has to do it. With this, look at this. Now, if you're by yourself, or, if you say, hey, you know what, my mom lives by herself, but I'm real concerned about it, we can move this around, everybody. So now you have the portability that we normally wouldn't get, but we're not sacrificing any of the abilities that it can do. That was my concern. It really was. When I saw it, I said, oh, this is cute. It's going to charge my phone for 5 minutes. Yay, EcoFlow. And he's like, no, it'll charge your refrigerator for, how many hours, right?
Well, we did 18 hours.
18 hours.
18 hours with the
this
refrigerator.
Little guy. So we no longer need the big guys in essence. This is really the direction you guys are obviously moving, because now it's the technology so advanced, you can go to a much smaller footprint.
Well, and we like having options. Just like we give alternatives between gas and propane, we like the alternatives of different sizes.
Sure.
You get to prioritize. Maybe if you do have the Delta
big guy,
Pro.
I mean,
that's full backup power. It's 100 pounds. It can run your house. But what about when I want to take it with me? What about when I want to go upstairs? What if I want to be able to feel, like when we talk about portable power, that it's actually portable?
Well, tailgating.
Tailgating is perfect.
Or if you're having a picnic out at a park or the family reunion, there's no plugs nearby, you don't have to worry about it. You've got power to play the music or the karaoke or whatever you're going to do. If you want to run the TV at the football game and you're hotspotting your Wi-Fi, how cool would that be? You'd have all your own power in the back of your truck and you're good to go. But we were talking about cold weather, it's bad, it's awful. But now we're talking about life-saving issues.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot because I even when I was at CES this past year, the year before, a lot of women come up to me and say, my husband's embarrassed, he doesn't want to talk about it, but the reason why he doesn't like to go camping is because he can't bring a CPAP machine. And so what a terrible reason to not be able to go and enjoy doing those types of things.
Out.
Or, like you said, outside of just camping, right? We always say when you lose power, it feels like you're camping. But just at home, what happens? And this is one of the ways that you can use your EcoFlow every single day. So I always say, you invest in a generator, you invest in it for what? It's for when I'm out of power. With this, of course, obviously when you're out of power, but you can use it every single day. So this can act like an emergency power source. Your husband works from home, so he's got his computer, he's got his desktop. You can run your CPAP machine for 7 hours. It's a full night's sleep, and it's going to jump up in just a second as it levels out. It's dropped back down to 29 watts. Your CPAP machine's what? It's a $700 investment. You need it. You need it because, of course, you want to be able to breathe easily, sleep well. Now, as an everyday use, an emergency power source. If I use it as a desktop for my desktop, or if I use it on my CPAP machine, when my EcoFlow is plugged into the wall and my CPAP machine is plugged into the EcoFlow, as soon as I lose power, the EcoFlow is going to recognize that, automatically continue to run whatever I've got plugged in. So what I did when I had bought $300 worth of food. I had all my EcoFlow set up. We had to evacuate because of the flooding, because I was over in the close to the bay. I had it plugged into my fish tank, because I was like, well, the last thing I want to do is, of course,
come home and have dead fish.
I feed them every day. I take care of those things. Okay, come home and have dead fish. So what we did was we had it connected to the fish tank. So as soon as we lost power, when we weren't even home, it continued to run that.
So it's not running unless it senses the house power's out.
Yeah.
And then it's fully charged.
Yep.
So you knew you had lots of hours to keep those fish fed.
Exactly. So we did one for the fish tank, and then we did the other one for our refrigerator. Because, well, again, got prepared. I did everything that you all do. It's because I talk about it because this is what we do every single time. We get prepared. And of course, the hustle and bustle, the fear of what's going to happen, where's it going? You got power at home. I made sure that I plugged my refrigerator into the power station. So when we left and I had $300 worth of food, all that food didn't go bad. We weren't going to take it with us after we had to evacuate. But then I did also take the power stations with me, put it in the car, because you know what ends up happening? You go from the west coast of Florida to the east coast of Florida, and so does the hurricane, and it follows you. And sure enough, where we went, we ended up losing power at my family's house.
No way.
So then we used it over there. So you think about all the different ways you can use it.
Right.
Portability is huge.
Something else, my dad, before he passed away, he was on dialysis. And he was doing home dialysis. And you have to do that every single day. And imagine if they had lost power, I would have been panicked for him, but clearly they would have not had an option. Actually, they in fact, because they were getting older, they had a whole system built. You know, the kind you fill up the propane under the ground, and those, it cost thousands and thousands of dollars, but thank goodness he had that as a backup. Most of us don't have that, you know what I mean? So if you are doing it at home dialysis, you can't skip a couple days dialysis. No. You have to get it done. So again, the power to be able to run the dialysis machine. I mean, again, those are extreme situations, but to Justin's point, you just never know when crazy stuff's gonna happen, when you're gonna be out of power. And we all know how often if you lost power, you're calling your neighbors. Oh, do you have power? Did your lights come back on yet? Have you heard? Have you called? Oh yeah, I called the company and they said it's gonna take 5 hours. So hopefully, that's just a horrible feeling. What I love, and this is what I did, I call it biting the bullet, is I bit the bullet and I said, we do not wanna have to be in this situation. And every single fall, we have the potential to be without power. It is a natural part of our life living here in Florida. And so instead of having to panic that we're gonna be without power, we're covered. We literally have a hurricane stash of stuff. And then my husband wanted to go off grid for 3 weeks and work, and he's a computer software analyst. He's on the computer 8 to 10 hours a day, and he used our EcoFlow. Can we show it one more time, and then we'll go to break? On my Facebook page, this is him. It's set up. He's got a cover over it. Typically, you want to put it inside. I don't know why I had it outside. I guess just the way he set it up, but he had a cover on it, thank goodness, but he got a cover for it. So there it is, and this is a really huge unit. It's 100 pounds. We love it. Wouldn't be without it. But he was literally off grid with absolutely no power source for 3 weeks straight and worked a full-time computer guy job. So I just think that's a great example of just how good that EcoFlow is. If it can power him all day long, and he's got his phone, his computer, his monitor, he's got all this stuff going on, and he did it all with EcoFlow, which is pretty darn remarkable when you think about it. All right, so here's what we're doing. You're choosing, do I just want this unit without the solar panel? I have 60 left. How many? Oh, I'm sorry, I have 50 left. That's it. That's gonna sell out, Justin. So the without is gonna sell out. If you want the with, we have that available as well. Both have VIP financing, grabbing that HSN card. In just a sec, I'll go over that again. Or if you just wanna use a regular credit card, we have 5 Flex all weekend for our special big first sale of the year event. So you can usually use a major credit card and do it that way. There it is, thanks guys. 5 Flex on everything. That's gonna end here pretty soon. All right, coming back, Justin and I are gonna show you some more amazing things. If you haven't seen it power the fridge, I think that's the true test of how this little guy is big but mighty, or little but mighty. All right, want to show you one more thing. If you saw last night's show, you